For 30 years, EV engineers told the world that the only way to build a safe electric vehicle was to keep the battery sealed inside its own protective housing, completely separate from the car's load-bearing structure. That is not engineering caution. That is engineering inertia. The BYD Seal just proved every word of it wrong. Here's the number that ends the argument: 40,500 Newton meters per degree. That is the torsional rigidity of a BYD Seal, built with cell-to-body architecture, a car whose battery cells are the floor. Not mounted under the floor, not bolted to a cradle beneath the floor. The cells themselves are the structural floorboard. The result is a platform stiffer than any conventional EV in its class, 110 kilograms lighter than an equivalent skateboard build with a center of gravity 15 millimeters lower. Not because of better chemistry, not because of a bigger motor, but because BYD eliminated an entire structural layer that every American EV program still requires. This is not just a battery story. This is a platform story, an architecture story, a $9.8 billion promise story, and the promise just expired. In 2012, Tesla established the template battery sealed in its own housing, mounted beneath a separate car body. Detroit didn't challenge it, they funded it. GM committed $35 billion to Ultium. Lucid raised $9.8 billion on Leap. Ford Rivian, every major EV program followed the same geometry. The logic felt airtight. After fire incidents between 2011 and 2016 isolating the battery gave engineers a clear safety boundary. A damaged car body didn't compromise the pack, a swelling cell didn't crack the chassis. SAE International encoded that boundary into standards J2344 and J2464. The separation became regulatory doctrine. It also became a weight penalty, a cost layer, and an efficiency ceiling that no one in Detroit, Fremont, or Newark had yet decided to challenge, because the architecture was working well enough, and working well enough was indistinguishable from being correct. But while Lucid was perfecting that assumption in Newark, something else was being assembled in a factory the Western press had not yet bothered to name. Every conventional EV battery pack contains a structural paradox. The heaviest component in the vehicle contributes zero to the vehicle's rigidity. The cells sit inside a module frame. The module frame sits inside a pack housing. The pack housing bolts to a cradle. The cradle welds to the floor pan. 5 layers, and the only job of layers 2 through 5 is to carry layer 1 without letting it do any structural work. Tesla's Model 3 aluminum pack housing alone weighs over 100 kilograms. It exists entirely to protect cells that are not allowed to protect themselves. BYD's answer was architectural, not chemical. In cell-to-body blade cells are stacked horizontally to form the vehicle floor directly. The top surface of the cell array becomes the cabin floor. The bottom surface becomes the underbody panel. The resulting sandwich cells between 2 structural skins functions identically to an aerospace honeycomb panel. Pack housing eliminated, module frame eliminated, cradle eliminated. 5 structural layers collapsed to 2. 66% cell space utilization CTB versus 50% for conventional module and pack. An estimated $1,400 per unit in pack housing cost now zero at BYD's 500,000 unit annual seal production rate. That is $700 million in eliminated cost per year. On a 10 in Texas at 80 miles per hour, a 110 kilogram weight reduction on the same battery capacity translates to 8 to 12 additional miles of range. Not from better cells, but from carrying less dead structure. A flexible car body is not just uncomfortable, it is an energy thief. Every time a chassis flexes under cornering load, energy that should move the vehicle forward is instead absorbed by panel deformation, suspension bind, and corrective steering inputs. On a conventional EV skateboard, the battery pack sits beneath the structure, but contributes nothing to resisting that flex. Lucid's Leap platform compensates with B-pillar reinforcements and underbody cross members, additional weight added to solve a problem that CTB eliminates at the source. BYD Seal with CTB 4500 Newton meters per degree of torsional rigidity. Conventional EV class average 25,000 to 28,000 Newton meters per degree. That is a 50% improvement not over competitors over BYD's own non-CTB platforms. The blade cell honeycomb transmits torsional loads through the cells themselves, turning what was passive ballast into an active structural member. 40,500 Newton meters per degree, BYD Seal CTB versus an estimated 28,000 Newton meters per degree for the Lucid Air platform, a 44.6% structural deficit in a vehicle whose entire market position rests on engineering credibility. On a Colorado mountain pass, higher torsional rigidity reduces body roll, reduces corrective steering angle, and reduces the energy loss to suspension compliance on every switchback. The range benefit compounds across elevation change in a way that EPA flat road testing does not capture. The counter-argument arrived before CTB was even announced if the battery is the structure. A side impact collision becomes a battery rupture event. The separation axiom, its defenders said, was never about efficiency. It was about survivability. Isolate the battery, isolate the catastrophe. BYD's response was not a press release. It was a nail penetration test, a 300-degree Celsius oven exposure, and a 46.67-ton equivalent crush load, all applied directly to blade cells. Zero thermal runaway, zero deformation beyond acceptable limits. The blade cell's flat, dense geometry eliminates the internal short-circuit pathways that make conventional cylindrical and pouch cells vulnerable to puncture. In a CTB side impact, the blade cells do not rupture, they resist. The cell array acts as a lateral anti-intrusion member absorbing energy before it reaches the occupant cell. The BYD Seal earned a 5-star CNCAP rating with this architecture, not despite CTB, because of it. Conventional battery pack housing after a moderate side impact replacement cost estimated at $15,000 to $40,000 requiring full underbody disassembly. Blade CTB after equivalent impact cell array integrity maintained. Localized repair protocol under development. The repairability objection is real. The safety objection is not. On a Michigan winter road, salt corrosion attacks the exposed joint lines of conventional battery housing seams, a known failure mode for early generation EVs. CTB cells are integral to a sealed structural floor with no exposed housing joints to corrode. Manufacturing a conventional EV battery pack is not one operation. It is 3. Cells are produced at one facility assembled into modules, at a second sealed into packs at a third, before the pack ever reaches the vehicle assembly line. Each transition is a supplier relationship, a logistics chain, a quality inspection gate, and a cost layer. GM's Ultium architecture requires all 3 at scale across multiple states. CTB collapses cell production directly into vehicle structure. The module assembly operation is eliminated. The pack housing supplier is eliminated. 2 entire factory operations and the supplier tiers that feed them cease to exist in the CTB production model. Estimated $1,200 to $1,800 per unit in eliminated pack housing and module assembly cost. At BYD's seal production volume of 500,000 units annually, $600 million to $900 million in cost eliminated per year, before any tariff, before any subsidy calculation. BYD Seal's China market equivalent price approximately $23,000. Lucid Air Gravity $79,900 to $122,000. The structural engineering premium that justified Lucid's price point has now been replicated and surpassed at 1/3 the cost. If BYD establishes CTB production in a tariff-exempt manufacturing facility, whether through a joint venture in Mexico or a greenfield U.S. plant under a future trade framework, the per-unit cost advantage survives the tariff schedule entirely. The 100% tariff blocks the import. It does not block the architecture. Lucid built the best possible version of the wrong architecture. The Gravity's 0.26 drag coefficient, 440-mile EPA range, and in-house inverter are genuine engineering achievements. None of them address the structural deficit, a 113 kilowatt-hour battery pack, contributing 0 Newton-meters to a vehicle whose conventional aluminum body-in-white measures an estimated 28,000 Newton-meters per degree of torsional rigidity. Against the BYD Cell's 40,500, that is a 44.6% structural gap in a vehicle whose entire market position rests on engineering credibility. Lucid raised $9.8 billion, burned $2.7 billion in 2024, and delivered 9,000 cars. At that volume, there is no path to funding a platform redesign. Saudi Arabia's PIF has bet its automotive credibility on an architecture CTB has already surpassed. GM's exposure is larger. Ultium represents $35 billion committed to the same 5-layer conventional structure through 2030's Silverado EV Hummer, EV Lyriq Blazer, EV all of them. No CTB equivalent program announced as of Q2 2026. Every Ultium vehicle carries structural deadweight a CTB platform would not need. Combined, GM and Lucid have committed $44.8 billion to the architecture CTB invalidates. That figure becomes relevant again in Part 5. The 100% tariff on Chinese EVs buys GM time. It does not make Ultium lighter, stiffer, or cheaper to build. Each quarter without a structural integration program is a quarter the gap compounds. The tariff is a clock. It is not a solution. The structural consequences of CTB do not stop at the vehicle. They run through the entire industrial supply chain that American EV manufacturing was built to sustain. Battery pack housing is a business. Novelis Kaiser Aluminum and Constellium supply the aluminum die castings that form conventional pack enclosures, a combined addressable market estimated at $4.2 billion in EV pack housing revenue. Module frame supplier Shiloh Industries Tower Automotive exists specifically to build the structural layer CTB eliminates. Approximately 8,000 American workers at Samsung SDI in Michigan, LG Energy Solution in Holland, and SK Innovation in Georgia are employed in conventional module and pack assembly operations. CTB does not disrupt those jobs. It makes the operation those jobs perform architecturally unnecessary. The tariff response addresses none of this. A 100% import duty on Chinese EVs is a trade instrument, not an engineering program. It delays BYD's market entry. It does not accelerate a GM CTB platform. It does not make a Lucid Leap battery structural. BYD filed the CTB patent in 2020. First production deployment was 2022. Tesla's 4680 structural battery offers partial underbody integration, not full CTB. Ford and GM have announced no equivalent program. The R&D gap is now measured in years of production deployed units, not laboratory prototypes. This is where the $44.8 billion becomes a liability statement, not an investment record. GM's $35 billion and Lucid's $9.8 billion were not wasted on bad engineering. They were spent on correct execution of an architectural generation that CTB has superseded. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, holding 60% plus of Lucid equity, has bet its automotive credibility on Leap-era engineering at exactly the moment that era closed. What happens next depends not on tariffs, but on whether American engineering culture can move faster than it has in the last 40 years. The skateboard era of EV architecture is not ending. It has ended. The foundational assumption that every American EV program from Model S in 2012 to Lucid Gravity in 2025 was built on that the battery is cargo and the frame is the carrier is no longer the structural frontier. BYD did not build a better battery. They built a battery that is the car. More than 500,000 BYD seals on the road are not a laboratory result. They are not a patent filing. They are not a press release from a technology conference. They are production-deployed proof that the architecture works at scale, in traffic and crashes in winter, on highways at $23,000. Lucid's engineering narrative was the last credible structural argument the conventional EV platform had. The Leap platform represented the ceiling of what the skateboard architecture could achieve. CTB did not chip away at that ceiling. It moved the building. GM has until 2030 before its Ultium commitments mature. Lucid has until its cash reserves expire. Ford has until the market stops accepting the weight penalty as a trade-off. The clock is the same for all of them, and it started in 2022, not today. The question is not whether BYD's cell-to-body technology works. More than 500,000 answers are already on the road. The question is whether Lucid, GM, and Ford will still be making structural promises when the architecture the rest of the world drives on has already moved on, and whether the $44.8 billion committed to the old geometry will be remembered as investment or as the price of being certain about the wrong thing.